I just made over $5,000 trading the stock market by following the flow. If you don't know what the flow is, it's basically how you can track institutions and market makers and where they're putting their money at into the market. I use this every single day, whether I'm day trading, swing trading, investing into a company, because I want to see what the rich is doing. So here's the position that I made $7,000 in trading profits. I entered this position on Thursday when I saw this golden sweeper put $20 million into these option contracts all within the same minute. When I saw this on the real-time option flow, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna follow this as well, because the rich only get richer, and once you realize that, you will actually start using flowtopia.co to your advantage. They know the news before you know the news. Now, I say that because let's type in coin and look at the past 20 days in the stock market and how many calls versus puts were bought. So as you can see right here, the last 20 days, calls have been outweighing the puts extremely. The day of election and the day after election, you can see that it had the most call flow on coin. So I knew this prior to going into this position. I only bought 3 contracts. Let's check off the list and see what we have. So Coinbase had a lot of call volume coming in on it the last 20 days. I knew that prior to last Thursday. And then once I noticed that the $20 million were going into coin, I wanted to follow the cheapest contract. So I ended up following this exact contract. And as you can see, it was above the ask, meaning that this was a very bullish order. So I bought this order Thursday around the same exact time that this whale bought, and I held it until Monday. Monday, I woke up with $7,000 in the profits and over 700% on Coinbase profits. Now, this was all by following the flow. You can see the exact same contract that the whale bought and the exact same contract that I bought. And also, you can see that Coinbase has been outperforming the put. So a lot of the big money institutions have been betting on calls and betting for more upside on coin this last month or so. But right here, this is how you look at the historical flow on Coinbase. So now we're gonna take a look at the Coinbase chart. So as you can see, I have labeled every time these whales are buying. So before election and on election day, they were loading up. This was the first set of calls coming in on November 5th. And then November 6th, even more calls are coming in. If you look at that historical chart that I just showed you, you can like see the same thing. That they were loading up on calls on 5th and the 6th, and obviously before that, but there was just so much more calls bought on the 5th and 6th. And then I labeled when the whale put in around $20 to $30 million within the exact same minute. This is when I entered on this candle. I entered on Thursday when that whale put in that money, and as you can see, the next day we were very green, but I decided to hold it over the weekend, gapped up, and that's how I made 700 whatever percent. I turned $1,000 into $7,000 just by over the weekend holding a position that the whale bought itself. Now that's how you can follow smart money. That's how you follow the whales. That's how you follow the institutions, just like that. And really how I know when to sell is whenever I'm comfortable looking at the profits. Like $7,000, I don't really care. I mean, you can see it ran even more, but I was like, you know, I'm going to take my $7,000. Like, I'm not going to get greedy with this one. But yeah, this happens. This can happen. This can change your life. Following the flow can change your life. I mean, if you just look, you just really need one trade just like this. Like this can happen week to week, month to month, whenever. But like trades really do happen like this when you're following the flow and the rich people. Like what I like to do is put a little bit of money into these plays that the golden sweepers are putting millions and millions and millions in. And I like to turn little money into big money. It's a great strategy because you're only risking so little. So if they're wrong, because like you'll see that these whales can't, like they can be wrong, right? But you'll see that you're turning little money into big money, and then your risk to reward is just way higher doing it like that. So let me show you how you can read this contract and how you can follow it on whatever brokers you're using. So basically, I'm going to start with this third one, is because the one that I personally followed. So you can see the time this whale bought was 9:50 a.m. Central Time, my time. He bought the ticker coin, and then the expiration on the contract was 11/15/2024. The 290 calls. He bought this stock around the 256.15 when the stock was at that level or at that price. And then he bought 9,000 option contracts at $335 a piece, which equals out to about $3 million and above the ask. And not only that, you can see how many other orders he bought, because this is all the same guy. He bought 9,000, 9,000, 9,000, 9,000 and put over 20 million, well over $20 million into these option contracts, all for the next week. Usually you see this happen when they're like buying for months out because they want to limit the risk, but this guy was so aggressive. He was buying 1 week away. So if Coinbase would have had any pullback, this guy would have been down millions of dollars. But instead, he either knew or he was okay risking, and he pulled the trigger, and this guy's probably up like $30 million within a week. But yeah, I ended up following this third contract right here. I got around the same price, that $335 contract level. And I put around $1,000. So I bought like 3 contracts or so and then turned that into $7,000. But guys, if you want access to all this real-time option flow, make sure you go to flowtopia.co. This is where you're going to see all the option flow, all the historical flow. And if you're a trader and you haven't started following the flow, then that's where you're missing out on your trading strategy. Like, think about it. How can retail traders like us become more like the institutions and the market makers? Following their orders, following their positions. What are they buying? What are they selling? How many are they buying? How aggressive are they on this? I also have a Discord with 48,000 members. If you want to join that, click the description down below. The link's in there. You can join the free version. And then I have a Twitter, TikTok, Instagram. You can all get those in the description below. But yeah, that's how I made $7,000 over the weekend. And if you want to do the same, make sure you follow the flow, get in the Discord, get in a good community. And yeah, until next time, I'll see you later.